broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, I'm waiting for it. Our song. There it is. We are back again at AfterBuzz TV doing our weekly recap for How to Get Away with Murder. Tonight, we are so excited. We've got a special guest.
Yes,
I'm going to go to our special guest first. We've got Dalilah in the house tonight.
Hi.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, we're so excited. Tell the people where they can tweet you if they want to tweet at you during our live show.
At Dalilah Ali Rajah, Dalilah Rajah.
I think that's at the bottom of the screen too.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah. That is awesome.
And
we've got another guest on the panel tonight.
Hi,
We've got
guys.
Sterling back with us. Thanks for coming back, girl.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I love doing this show. And you can find me on Twitter at Sterling Cates.
And the always lovely Jillian.
Hi guys, you can tweet me at Jillian Leff.
And I'm Stef Z, guys. You can tweet me at IAMSTEFZ. I love all the tweets. I feel like I got almost like 100 tweets between last week and this week, and a lot of them are telling me that I'm crazy for my theories. But hey, I love it. I love the conversation. Keep the conversation going.
See, I'm getting tweets about Stef's theory that she's right.
I've got a hashtag now. It's Get on the Stef Bus.
That's hysterical.
It's amazing. But we're gonna get right into it. I'm a little bit sad about this episode. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, tell me why you're sad.
Well, because I thought there was gonna be more of a reveal between Annalise and Wes's relationship, which I am still sticking to my guns that there is something deeper than she said it.
Yeah, I think that there's something deeper for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so I'm gonna stick to my guns that she's either his mom or she dated his. She's either his mom or she was dating his mom when she committed suicide.
There's some relation here.
There's
like,
some
absolutely.
motherly.
You are not wrong about
motherly
that.
something. I love you, Sterling. You can come back whenever
I'm
you
on
want.
the Stef Bus or whatever the hashtag
Or
is.
if she drove his mother to suicide.
That's what I said last week, too. If she's responsible.
What if she's the real mom and his adopted mom committed suicide?
That's what I think it is.
Listen, I'm hearing a lot of what ifs. What I do know is we did not find out this episode. I did a Periscope earlier today,
Hater.
and a couple of people on
Hater
Twitter
to my left,
listen
to
to
the
me.
left, to the left.
Jillian Leff. A couple.
Hashtag, you want to get on the hater bus or the Stef bus? You guys decide.
A couple of people on my Periscope earlier were telling me that we're actually not going to find out about Wes and Annalise's relationship until after the break.
How do they
That
know?
makes sense to me.
Listen,
How did they know?
Some people that I chat with, some people that I chat with,
Apparently
they
she's got the in.
really
no.
get into things and go on the forums and.
Because they do have those
I don't go
spoiler
that
forms,
deep.
Right?
Annalise can't
There are
get
so
shot
many
and die
forms.
They
before we
do.
know what happens.
See, I'm not a fan of reading all the stuff you read. I just like to watch and.
Well, no, I didn't read it. Someone told me that.
But still, yeah, you listened.
Guys,
But anyway,
we're gonna get into a fight after this.
I'm okay with that. All right, so we do dissect and we talk so many theories, but tonight we've got a special guest, and you can actually tell us some behind the scenes. Again, I know you probably can't tell us certain things, but the fact of we love this show. We think this show is so on point. It crosses its T's, it dots its I's. It is so down to everything. Like it goes, it breaks barriers for everything. It introduces all kinds of relationships, race, sexuality, everything. It goes there. So
much sex.
yeah, there was lots of sex too.
So much.
But we love the show. Now, what was it like being on set with these people? What was it like? What was the experience? Tell us.
Okay, so first of all, I am a ridiculously stupid, huge Shonda Rhimes fan. Like, I love Scandal. I love How to Get Away with. Like, I just love how she's breaking barriers and just her philosophy around TV, because she made a declaration at one point before she started doing TV. She's like, I'm going to change the world through television. And that is literally what she is doing right now. And from the very moment, like from casting all the way through down to every single PA, everyone was such just good humans that it was awesome. Like, it felt good to interact with everybody. Everyone was kind. You could tell they had a cohesive team. It was totally relaxed. I also knew that somebody on set was going to know how to do my hair, which I have to tell you, a lot of sets I go on, I'm actually not sure. But, like, I was like, oh, I don't have to worry at all here that, like, people are going to have the makeup that's going to match me. Like, I was like, this is the most at ease in the very many years I've been in this industry, where I could just walk on and be like, oh, I know I'm going to be good. Like, I know I'm going to be good. And everybody was just wonderful. Everybody was kind. They included us in the family. I can't tell you much about anything. They're very, very secretive about the rest of the storylines. Half of the stuff that I found out on tonight's episode, I found out watching with you guys, because they deliberately keep us separate from everybody else. They were shooting 2 episodes at a time. And so I would see people coming and going, but we aren't allowed to see the sides from any of the other stuff, and any of the scenes you're not in, unless you're in the main cast, you don't get privy to that information.
Did you get to see Frank?
Yeah.
I
Or
love
Nate
him.
with his shirt off.
No, I didn't get to see anybody naked.
Oh, man.
Nobody
Damn.
naked. I have
I thought
to
you were
say,
going to
though,
bring all the juicy
they
secrets.
were wonderful, though. The Frank and Matt, they're just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, just good guys.
Yeah, they seem like good people, and I think it goes with the territory. When you have a successful show that's breaking barriers and doing things and creating a space for a conversation that needs to be had in this world, like, you are changing the world, so you have to. There's no other way to feel than good about being a part of this project. So of course they want the best of the best in everything they do, and I feel like if they had somebody that was on set in any way, shape, or form that didn't have a good attitude, they'd fix that problem right away, so to speak. And tell us about your character Judy that you played tonight. I mean, a little bit, you took a little bit of a bribe. What's that? Do you think?
Yeah, what's up, Judy?
Do you think that you would ever take a bribe like that in real life?
Absolutely.
Different circumstances, different money. Do you think that you could, like, was it hard for you to get in that character, or what's going on?
It depends on the circumstances. It depends on the circumstances and who might be harmed.
Right.
That's what it
Okay.
Might be harmed.
That would be what would be my personal
Right.
decision making.
You were doing it for the baby, though.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Which, I'm a mom, so I didn't have any problem getting behind like that. Like, the character is an old school friend of Frank's from, like, back in the day, back in the hood. Like, they've known each other for a long time. He's like hardcore from Philly, old school. She's one of those people too. So they're like, I mean, that's kind of like, it's like the street cred street code. Like, she is an analyst and she's super smart and she's in this job that's super amazing, and they came from, like, this more kind of street rough background together, growing up together, you know what I mean? So
Right.
So you said you're a mom. Was it weird wearing the pregnant belly again?
no, I wore it. I put one on when I did the audition because I felt like I needed to feel it in my body, so I wouldn't be indicating or overacting. I was like, as an actor, I was like, I need to feel what this feels like, so I'm walking with it and stuff.
Right.
So it didn't really. I had just done the audition like a week before we shot, so
Oh, wow.
I just had on, like, my makeshift one I made up, but theirs was better than mine.
Right.
Theirs was better than the pillow I stuffed in the stocking.
Yeah. Going with the basketball, dribbling. Oh wait, hang on. Let me put that underneath.
I know, but that's, like, an important note for actors, because I know a lot of actors do watch our show. There are a lot of actors at AfterBuzz, and, like, you needed to get there, so you do what you got to do. You dress up for the part, and that's something that actually happens in the audition room, so that's cool to hear.
Yeah, and I think it's, like, a different thing when you're just doing it to try and put on something for people, because there's sometimes where I used to hear all the time, don't put on too much of a costume, you just want to suggest something or whatever. But in this case, for me, I was like, I need to feel what this feels like in my body, and I can't make myself feel that without something physical to help me. And so I was like, I need to give myself the physical thing to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So let's jump into. Well, let's start there. Because usually what we like to do is we go, like, people by people, person by person, or, like, couple by couple, because it seems like everyone has been coupled up, except Wes.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He's still.
Well, because she got suffocated with a plastic bag.
Yeah.
He was the first one.
Rebecca.
I love Wes.
Rest in peace.
I love
Poor
my
Wes.
little
Hashtag rest in
girl.
peace.
Can't catch a break.
Yes. He can't get his break. But so let's talk with Frank, because Frank. Yes, Frank.
You tell us. I don't know where you're going with this.
Frank comes to give you the DNA.
Yes.
Let's talk about Frank's character. I feel like in this episode we see something from Frank that I don't feel like I've ever seen before. Frank usually is the one saving the day. He's usually the one 2 steps ahead of everybody, but in this one he felt threatened by what Annalise had said to someone else, and not only to someone else, to his girlfriend Laurel. How do we think that's going to play out? Do you think Annalise is trying to pit them against each other? Do you think that it's just because Annalise strictly does see that Laurel might be the smartest one, how she said last week? Like, why do we think that's happening? What do you guys think?
I don't know what to make of it, honestly, because a couple of weeks ago, the episode that I was on, actually, and everyone was saying that that Frank, when he brought Laurel to the house to meet his family and all of that, that he was like, had this front. And so I can't tell, but I thought it was genuine. So I can't tell if, but there were a lot of people predicting that he was doing that just to like bring her in to get her trust or whatever. So I still can't tell if he's doing all of these nice things because he really likes her, or if he's has another motive because he's threatened by her.
I think he's falling in love with her, and I think that's actually part of why he's probably off his game. I think Annalise is super. I love her. She's complex and she's brilliant, and she's manipulative and does whatever she needs to do to make sure things get done. And I think she's pretty fine with anybody sleeping with whoever they want as long as it doesn't mess up any of her plans. If it starts messing up with her things, she doesn't like people messing with her things. Right. So I think that like a part of it is she's not going to try and undermine it on purpose, but she's not going to feed it either. Mainly because it doesn't help her to feed it. It doesn't do anything to do that. Yeah. And I think that she does want to kind of she wants hooks in everybody where she can manipulate them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she's creating power dynamics.
Right. And by her telling that to Frank that he's off his game, that's only going to make him work harder. So I think she knows what buttons to press.
I had this crazy thought at the end, this crazy thought feeling when Frank was cooking for her, that Annalise was maybe trying to protect Laurel, because knowing that Frank's the guy that's killed so many people, Frank's the dirty guy.
Well, she knows a lot more of his history too than even we have had even
Annalise
remotely than we've even had remotely revealed. So you have no idea. Like if Sam felt fine to call him to be like, hey, can you just take out this chick?
And he's
That's right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, just think about the background somebody has to have for somebody to think that they can make that phone call and know it will be handled.
That's why. So, I mean, but do we think Annalise has it in her to see Laurel and to see Frank and to see what's happening and to want to protect Laurel? No. Like, do we think Annalise would do that, or is it really just always selfish about her and how it,
I think
she's been so about protecting everyone the past few episodes, especially. Like, she keeps bringing that up, so maybe, but I don't know.
I think that she does want to protect, it's twisted. Like, I think that's the thing, is that she's twisted and complex. That's what makes her so awesome, is that I think she genuinely does want to protect them, but her movements through how she protects sometimes throw people kind of under the bus, but she's always confident that she'll be able to fix whatever it is that she did. Like, if you notice, she's never killed anybody.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, she's always
created it all.
She's manipulated, and the pieces move around her. Mm-hmm. It's like somebody going through not a china shop, but something where they twirl this way, and the wind from them makes something else twirl that way, and makes it do this. But then everybody else is falling, and she's just walking through life. It's like, borderline personality disorder, where like everything's just centered in their own perspective without being able to see anybody else's stuff other than how it deals with them. I think that she is trying to protect them in some ways, but I don't know if she would be trying to protect Laurel as much right now as if it gets close to a crisis point. I think she would.
Yeah. I just think it's all about Annalise playing games with them. We see it just in the way that she talks. She says, "Laurel, do you want this opportunity? If not, Michaela can do it." Boom. Laurel's like, no, I want to do it. Yeah. Same thing with Frank. So it's all about manipulation is the word that I was looking for. Yeah. And regardless if she cares about them or not, she needs to have that sort of nail in their back, and she needs to be able to manipulate them however she wants. They're essentially her Play-Doh. I mean, we've seen it like how many times. She does it with Wes all the time, and we've finally started to see him rebel a little bit away from it. But even her telling Wes to like stay out of the case, that's a manipulation. At least I think so. Right. She, in my
Unless
mind,
she's his mom and wants to just protect him.
I mean, I think that that's.
I'm with you.
I think she's his mom. There's something that's very related to his childhood, which I've always thought since season 1. I felt like
there's
that she
a
was.
connection.
I was like, I think that she's his mother.
She was on the show, dude.
I've always felt that way. But, and then I started to think maybe not when I thought she might have sex with him when they were in that club scene. And I was like, oh, maybe she's not.
It was too
it was creepy
to be maternal.
But it seems like they're touching on incest this season, so maybe they were just trying to do foreshadowing.
Listen, I am not on the Stef bus, but I'm walking to the bus stop.
Yes, fair enough.
But I'm I don't know. Should I go back home?
You're maybe I'll just
What's your theory? What do you think?
No, I mean, there are so many things. I change my mind every single day. I talk about this with all of my friends, too. Today, I had just talked about it with another AfterBuzzer, and connection, and we're not, story point, but we really try to. This is the stuff that everyone's passionate about. We want to know the connection, so this is why we get into it.
What if?
And it's not like we really know, so you can't be mad at us for our theory.
What if it was her and Sam's love child from when they slept together, and then she disappeared and got rid of him and had never told Sam, which is the reason why she couldn't say anything.
Yeah, but you disappeared for 9 months.
People used to do that back then.
Yeah, but back then
forget Sam was
that would be crazy because then Wes killed his dad.
Right.
But and then, his mom killed herself.
Because I always assume he may not be mixed, but I always assume that whoever it was I assume that he was mixed, which I thought was an interesting kind of dynamic, because then how did, if he is Annalise's son, then who was the father? I mean, I think it would be actually interesting, but it couldn't have been, because the uncle was molesting her when she was really little, and Miss Tyson burned down the house with him in it.
You're right. But this is that
was amazing.
Amazing
episode.
But then the conversation that she had with Eve, where she was like, "It's him, it's him," it really threw me off, because then it's okay, so in the timeline of Annalise's life, this was a college thing, her and Eve.
Right.
And then they sort of always kept in touch, but not in close touch. And then she had come back into her life after a very long while. When her and Sam got together is when they stopped talking, pretty much. So it's something that Eve knew about.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought, when did she start dating Sam? Because it seemed like...
he was married and had an affair.
Because he was married and had an affair, but I don't know how long they were together.
She left Eve for him. Sam.
Right, but I figured that was during...
I thought they said 20 years. Someone tweeted me.
This is what I thought was happening. I thought that, because in the first season, she said that when she was talking about, have you slept with a student? He's like, sleeping with a student. She's like, you've done it before. I thought she was talking about herself, and that he had been sleeping with her while she was in school, and then left his wife for her as she was coming out. Mm-hmm. And so then that would have been college would have been right before she was in grad school, when she would have been sleeping with him while she was a student. So then that would have meshed up with the timeline for Eve. But how long ago does that put that, so that if it was early college, maybe when she got pregnant?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, we don't know yet.
I don't know. We're making it all up.
Yeah,
it's great.
But this is what we do. This is I love this game. It's very fun. I don't know what we're gonna do after we find out. I guess
something new.
They're gonna drop something new. That's the great thing about Oh My God TV. That's what I call it. Oh My God TV. Where at the end of it, it's oh my God, what just happened? Oh My God TV. It's perfect.
I'm more curious to what she's gonna talk about after we find out the actual.
I'll find something. Well, about with the Oh My God TV, I feel like one of the big things that happened in this episode that we were left with the oh my God last week was Oliver, and I feel like I did not see that coming. I definitely, when we talk about Oliver, and even the episode title, Hi, I'm Phillip, I feel like this Phillip guy, at first I almost believed it. I almost believed that he wasn't threatening. He was super creepy but not threatening, but super creepy still. But we see that Oliver was not in danger, so to speak. He might still be. He was in danger, but nothing happened to him.
If they just casually went and got soup or whatever, why would they leave the door open and all
and
that
the milk
stuff?
on the floor? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if it was that. I think it was basically he was nervous and trying to get him to a public place.
Yeah. Well,
and so he basically came up with something to say, went to the public place, and then when he felt like it might escalate into something where they then would have to leave and not be in a public place again, he's like, why don't we go directly and talk to the people who actually know what you want to know?
Yeah.
He was basically using little breadcrumbs, let's get out of the house where he can kill me. We can get with a lot of people. Let's leave there and get with some more people in a more
Right, but I don't think Philip's intention was ever to kill him, because I feel like Phillip talked to Catherine and was like, these two guys are on to me, and then Catherine was like, okay, so what you got to do is go talk to these people and say this whole story.
He saw them. You didn't like when they first hacked into his computer. He turned the camera on and could see their whole conversation.
Yeah. Right, but what I'm saying is after he did that, he called up Catherine and said, the 2 guys that are working on your case are on to me. What do we do? And she said, oh, yes, they're going to friend you. Not even I'll plead guilty. They're going to friend you, so make up this crazy story that you're not related.
But she didn't know any of that yet because she didn't know they found Phillip. She only knew it from
she did.
Yeah, she did because he saw them hacking him.
No, what I'm saying is that she may have told him, but she didn't know any of the rest of the plan because they hadn't told them. So basically, that's why she kept saying she knew that they were lying. That's probably
Phillip told her that they like he could see them.
He had seen them.
So she knew the entire time.
She knew the entire time that they were lying about it, but nobody knew that Oliver was doing all this stuff with the profile and stuff.
Oh, man.
Oh, the fake profile.
Yeah, how did he know that?
Well,
for
he
sure
had anti-hacking so computer.
He knew, and he hacked them back. So he may have been following everything Oliver was doing on the computer since the time when they hacked into him.
Right.
So he may have seen him setting up the profile. Yeah. But like Catherine didn't know that from like the team, like didn't know the behind the scenes team stuff. Everything she knew from whatever Phillip told her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I feel like Catherine and Phillip have been working together in the know since the hacking started because and that was so good. Like that's what I'm saying about this show. How good was that how we figured it out is because there's a painting in the background that she painted.
Yeah,
love it.
And why was he painting on the floor though? Why wasn't it on his wall?
He didn't have everything was just jumbled in that place.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out what their relationship is though. Like if it was like his girlfriend, don't you think he would have hung up her work?
It ain't that good. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Honestly.
Oh my god.
It's a little creepy, is it not?
How do we know that?
Which is actually, wait, time out. Which is really funny because someone sent me, I wish I could find it, but it's buried now. Somebody sent me the picture that she was painting in the episode of, like, in the beginning when you first saw her painting. It was like one of those pictures that when you buy a picture frame, it's like the standard stock photo that just comes within the picture frame. Someone sent me that picture and was like, look, this is the family she's painting. Oh my God. Awesome.
But before we move on, Stef actually has a little something to say about another network that is affiliated with AfterBuzz.
Oh yeah, that's right, you guys out there. I'm getting some yelling at right here. So guys, just so you guys know, I know you enjoy this show. We've got lots and lots of shows here at AfterBuzz TV. We've also got our sister network, Black Hollywood Live. They have lots of shows. They have lots of interviews. Really, really good content. You guys should totally check that out.
Yeah, actually, Stacey Ike, who's not here tonight, she hosts a show called Black Tea Party. It's on every Friday, and they talk about politics, and they get really into it. Besides that, there's fashion content, sports content, everything, and it's awesome. So look out for those shows and tune into Black Hollywood Live.
Sweet. Okay, so I feel like I want to just jump right to it. I kind of warned you that we do this every episode. Sterling, I don't know if you know, so you might have to make it on the fly, but maybe you were there too. But every episode we try and take a quote. Oh. Because there's so many one-liners. So, I don't know. I'm going to start with you with that smile on your face. What did you have for your one-liner?
I liked when Laurel said, or Frank called Laurel an MAP, a Mexican-American princess.
That's
that hit home for me because a JAP, Jewish American Princess.
I didn't know that.
Well, no, like, it's a teasy thing, but I just thought it was funny with Laurel because we do seem to forget her upbringing, and it was brought up as a dig in this episode, and I thought that was pretty cute. I mean, there were definitely other one-liners, but I'll let the team. I'll let the team
did you
share.
Have one? I got a bunch. If you guys don't,
no,
I
have a couple. But I think that the part that was funny to me was when they found out that the pen had the bug in it, and Laurel is like yelling into the pen when they're trying to be she's like, but why? I thought that was hilarious.
Was there anything that stuck out to you?
I should have written it down. I like the it's time to bust out your boobs again. It was hysterical to me. But there was another one that came after that is completely escaping me. I'm going to see if it's on your list.
Okay. Well, the one that I liked the best was when Annalise... See, I like it when Annalise sticks it to people. So, because I just love her. And I like when she was saying to Sinclair, send your hick ass back to whatever haystack you came from.
I'm from Connecticut.
But it was amazing because she totally plays that character, like, you know, like redneck slightly. So I feel like it was just so
it's hysterical.
I'm glad you said that one because that was my second one.
What?
So I'm glad you said that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I also, again, Annalise, I just love her when she says, "I'm not going to spread my legs as some sort of payment." Like, you know, like how she stood her ground and stuck it to Nate. So let's talk about Annalise and Nate. Let's kind of start going down that. Ooh. So Annalise and Nate, I feel like this relationship, I mean, is this love?
It's so complicated.
I think it's deep caring.
Oh, well, is it love, deep caring, codependency, you know,
yes.
All of the above?
Addiction.
Yeah,
addiction, that's what I was going to say.
Like, wanting something you can't have and then just like...
Well, sexual... Well, and I think it's also like it was healing because it was like what he came to as a coping mechanism for his grief.
Yeah.
And it's the only coping mechanism I think that he really had. And for her, it was her coping mechanism for what was going on with her and Sam and like life. And so that's a part of, but I do think that they both actually deeply care for each other. And I was like, kept making that joke. My friend Crescent Muhammad has like this thing where she's always like, she got that good about Kerry Washington on Scandal. And I was like, apparently, so does Annalise. She got that good because like everybody keep coming back. Like I was like, Eve back, Nate back. Like, I don't even know why I'm back. I'm back. I don't know what to do. But like, I think, for instance, like, her and Eve, and it's funny because a lot of people keep saying that it's like just manipulation. When I talk to my friends, I was like, I don't think so. I said, I think that they really were deeply in love, and I really think that she was not willing to live that life with her, and it was safer to go with Sam, and so she didn't stick with it. But you can tell that they go to like their little girl like heart place with each other. Like they go to their tender places with each other whenever they're around each other. Yeah, they're much more vulnerable. It's the most vulnerable that you ever see Annalise, in my opinion, and the most I think that she reveals the most of whoever she was before the things wore down on her so much that she became who she is.
Right. No, I agree. I think that's all good stuff. I think too that's why we got introduced to Eve, to show that Annalise has been in relationships with women. So I feel like that's why I tend to, that could be with Wes's mom. There was a relationship there. Okay, so. We kind of skipped over Oliver and...
But wait, I have one more thing about Annalise.
Go ahead.
Why'd she text her mom?
Yeah. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to her mother. I was like, oh, honey, if they bring it back Miss Tyson, I just don't even...
She was like, twist.
I thought it was because she had just gotten all of those threats about someone killing her, so she sent a text message of her happy to her mom.
I don't know. No, I feel like they're planting something else, but I don't know what they're planting. I feel like there's some reason why there's going to be something why it's important what time she sent that text in relationship to her being shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it just had to do with, because they were flashing between her and Bonnie, so I just thought it was very surface. It was like, you know, she's not getting any sort of attention from Bonnie or response from Bonnie, so I'm going to reach out to my mom. At least that's what I thought when they were cutting it back and forth.
I feel like it's too much. There's too much more. I feel like, well, one, I feel like they don't ever do anything that light, so I feel like no matter what it is, it's a plant for something. We just don't know what it's a plant for. But her and her mother had a really twisted and harrowed relationship. So for her to reach out to her, even in the middle of that not being able to reach Bonnie thing, is saying something that I think is way beyond. It's not something light. She could have texted anybody. She could have texted, like, if she's just lonely, she could have texted Nate, or she could have texted Eve. But texting her mother?
Well, I thought it was saying that she's in a bad place, because the last time she reached out to her mother, she was in a bad place. They had found Sam's body and she was distraught, and that's why her mother came. So that was a signal to me, like, why would she reach out? But also, why is she sending a smiling selfie to her? So,
exactly.
So yeah, I do think that it's
there's something. It's a plant for something, dude. It's a plant.
Yeah.
I don't know for what. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll find out next week. It's a plant for something. We're going to see what it is. We're going to see. If they bring Miss Tyson back, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
I'm just so excited. So let's real quick talk about Connor and Oliver. I feel like I really, again, enjoy Connor's acting. I think he's phenomenal. I think that the passion, like the way we've seen his shift, I feel like there's been so much character shifting from last season to this season, which usually doesn't happen in season 2 of a show, because you expect the characters to do something. So I just really liked how Connor was so pissed off. He thought he was dead. He was really passionate about it, and he's I feel like hopefully Oliver will now be safe and stay a little bit further removed, even though we think, you know, he can be more involved. Everyone's giving me looks.
I actually
That
really
ain't gonna happen.
no.
I think Oliver's going to get more involved, but
It's gonna be a
less
hot
behind
mess.
Connor's back.
Yeah, but the thing is, I really enjoyed at the end of the episode when Connor was like, do you want to feel that rush? You want to be nervous? Like, you want to do all these bad things? I'm going to be bad. Like, we're going to be bad right now in public. And that was his way of saying, listen, you don't need to participate in this stuff. I can give you the same feeling in a safer environment with risk.
Right.
Still with risk. Because he's just concerned. I mean, he's a protector. I mean, heck, Annalise had Nate call it in.
Right.
Like, when did we ever think that was going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're true.
Yeah. I mean,
He was with a killer. Like, at this point, his death toll is up to 3 if he took out all 3 of them.
Yeah.
If he took out his mother and his father and his wife.
Yeah.
I need to know.
I need to know too. And then we see Asher. Asher kind of has a little bit of a bounce back in this episode. He does have, I mean, I can't remember. Can you guys? I can't remember the last time Asher has played a key role in helping
solved a problem.
in solving a problem, and solving
Yeah.
a case. So that was interesting to have him do a little
Asher
bit
is
of
my
bounce
favorite
back.
one out of all of them.
You know,
So goofy. Bless his little heart. He's so goofy. I love it.
yeah, and he was having those goofy moments again in this episode, like, you know, dancing when they found the bug, the pen, you know, like, I feel like he's more so going back to that a little bit. Maybe it's because he's still super worried about Bonnie. Like, what do we think's happening with Bonnie?
I don't know. She's still in the
She's
she's
a
still in the
nut.
shower.
She's a
She's still in the
nut.
shower from the beginning of the episode.
She's rocking herself in the shower. I don't understand why it was so deep that she told him. Like, I mean, I get it's a really big thing, but like, to where you want her dead?
I felt like it was a little dramatic myself. Again, I have not experienced something like that, so I don't want to say something that is, you know, not being aware of situations that people live in. But I feel like, yes, it seems like, you know what it seems like to me? It seems like there's something deeper to the story that we don't know. Because
It's gotta be.
Yeah, and I feel like if she's confided in Annalise with that story, they've already had some type of conversation about it. So for her to be reacting this way, there's got to be something that we don't know yet.
I feel like there's something about whatever went down with Bonnie's case that we don't know yet that makes it like a part. It's the reason why she feels so indebted to her. It's the reason why she does so much. But there's also something wonky in it. And it's something that involves Sam, because through the whole first season, I thought that Bonnie and Sam had an affair at one point, and I still think that may have been the case, but we don't know what those dynamics were that created that.
It was interesting last episode when Bonnie was like, Sam would have never done this to me. Like, so there's obviously something
there
related to her case.
With all 3 of them. Maybe they had a threesome. Maybe they were in a polyamorous relationship.
Maybe there's lots of sex on this show. Maybe they did the octopus all together.
The octopus,
Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe Bonnie killed her father, and Annalise got her off.
Which is reasonable, and that would be why that she would have had the tape, because it would have been in evidence.
And because Annalise got her off, so that's why she maybe feels indebted to Annalise.
That's actually a good theory.
That's a good theory, because it seems like she doesn't have any problem killing people.
Yeah. And it seemed like for a while she was just kind of, you know, not playing the sideline, but just being like almost like the puppy dog to Annalise. But now that she's like broken and lost it a little bit, she's going back to this, you know, person that causes havoc and is capable of killing because there's so much deep
and maybe it's the
pain.
betrayal. Maybe she's that, like, the people who, you know, there's some people, it's like your inner circle you treat one way, and your outer circle you treat different. Maybe for her inner circle she's a puppy dog, and her outer circle she just kills them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, speaking of killing, we saw in the beginning of the episode that Bonnie takes the gun away from Wes and goes off. And that's all we see, pretty much.
I think that Annalise planned this whole thing. I really do.
I honestly...
But do you think Bonnie's in on the plan?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. But I feel like
I feel the same.
I feel like it's a setup to protect somebody else, and that they shoot her, and the whole thing is supposed to be that they shoot her, and then they need to get the ambulance there by a certain time. But I don't know. I could be wrong, but I really do. I think that there's some kind of plan in it. Something, or maybe there was a plan and something went wrong.
I feel like something like that too, because if we remember, I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before, when she's being brought into the hospital, Frank's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He walks away. He's very aware of the camera at the hospital. And as soon as he clears the barrier of the camera at the hospital, he's like, I'm okay. So he's going to either know she's okay, like there's something.
Or he was in on the plan to shoot her in the first place, and I'm completely wrong.
No, I actually, we've talked about that too. too. That Frank has been working with but against as well. So we gotta. I can't.
Yeah, no, because where did he get all that money?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they made up that it was to pay off Rebecca, which is obviously not what it was for. And it seems like no.
Maybe he robbed Laurel's family.
Maybe he has a gambling addiction. I don't know.
No, but I mean, I just think that it's interesting.
That money had to come from somewhere.
I think that it's interesting that the only other money conversation that was brought up in this episode was Laurel's family and money.
Yeah.
It was, and he seemed reluctant to take the $50,000 out.
You're right.
Like, it seemed like he was like, dang, I don't really want to have to do this, but I have to do this.
Maybe he was like planning on killing Annalise and then gonna go on to some private island and live off that money for the rest of his life.
This is not Scandal.
Or maybe it wasn't his money. Maybe
he's gonna go live in the sunshine.
Money. You're right.
Like they do on Scandal.
All right, well, we're just gonna have to see. All right, what else? What else do we want to touch on this episode? I know we don't have that much time left. Michaela and Caleb, I don't know, boring snooze fest. What do we think about this?
I think they bonded on their mutual adoption moment. I still, up until this episode, until that reveal of the gun.
Did she have an orgasm?
I think maybe she did. You know what? Now she's going 2 for 2. Maybe she's finally. Maybe she's trying to. She's changing her record.
She's hit her stride.
2. She got 2.
All right.
They know how to hit it right.
I was just thinking something about Caleb. So obviously he's suspicious of Catherine. We were talking earlier about did Catherine send the painting to tip off Wes or whatever? What if Caleb sent the painting? What if Catherine didn't send the painting?
Oh,
what if Caleb somehow?
I hadn't thought about that.
What if Caleb because he's already suspicious of her? Maybe he knew Wes.
But he wouldn't want them to know, though. Do you think?
Well, if he's suspicious of Catherine, Wes could go and then what he knew Wes would connect Catherine to Phillip because that painting was in Phillip's.
But
room.
Besides the painting, how do you find a gun?
Whoa.
What? I'm just saying, what if Catherine didn't send the painting to Wes? What if someone else did?
Wait, but time out, because we had a flashback forward, whatever they've been doing, of Catherine not being dead, but being put out.
Knocked out.
Right, so I feel like...
And Frank was
carrying her.
And they basically set her up, and she was covered in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like... She's definitely... See,
I
think that she killed Sinclair?
I don't think that Caleb did that. I think that Catherine really... I think that was just every criminal, when you have a robbery, they make a certain amount of mistakes. I feel like that was Catherine's mistake. To send Wes that picture, she would have never thought that when they saw a picture of Phillip that picture was going to be in there.
They put 2 and 2 together?
Yeah, I don't think that Caleb would have known that. So I think that was just a mistake by Catherine.
But she knows that painting is in the background of that picture of Phillip because she saw the picture of Phillip.
Yeah,
because they showed it to her when they were sitting on the couch.
But I mean, did we see it the first time?
I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice it.
Well, she painted the picture. I feel like she would notice it.
Especially if she the thing is, if she already knows Phillip, which we now know she did, she would have probably noticed it in the photo because she's seen it.
Because she's probably like, oh shit, that painting's in that picture.
Was she the one? I can't remember if she was the one holding it. Because remember, Annalise showed them, but I don't know if she let them hold it.
They were holding it.
So she had a long time to be looking at that photo.
I don't know. I was just wondering if she actually sent, because it was signed Catherine.
Yeah.
Or do you think that she's
if she sent that picture to him, she would have obviously known where it came from. He shouldn't have to be Catherine.
But maybe she would have just never thought he would put 2 and 2 together. I mean, that's I
don't know. That's interesting. That would be a really interesting theory if So is what you're saying, you think that Caleb's in on it too, or Caleb did it?
What I was thinking initially is that Caleb already had these suspicions of her just because he found the gun last week or whatever he said.
But how did he find the gun? I would never look in a vent. Are you kidding?
No, he didn't find it there. He put it there, I think.
No,
he said I found it here.
Yeah.
Oh, what was
and it was all covered in
it's covered in cobweb, so it's been there.
But I don't know, that's so, okay, I get it. They said they fired the staff, so, maybe he was cleaning or something, but it wasn't explained. It was just here, let me pop open this vent. Look, there's a gun.
The gun was in the painting room, and the painting went to Wes. See, there's something weird with that painting.
I kept trying to look I was is there something behind the painting? Because I was I didn't know had they stuck something in the painting. And
I was who's the 3 people in the painting?
That's what I really wanted to know.
Yeah.
Because I was is this Wes's family? And then how would she know? How would she have had a picture of Wes's family?
Can you guys tweet us a still of that photo? Because I guarantee some of you already have it.
Maybe Caleb went in there to get the painting to send to Wes, and then he saw the gun, and he was like, oh shit, she's the murderer.
See, I don't know that Caleb did, but Caleb didn't look at the picture as long as she did, so I don't know that Caleb would have recognized the picture, the painting enough to send Wes one.
I wonder if oh
my God, I have to rewatch it now.
If Catherine was nervous, if Catherine was nervous, maybe she wouldn't have noticed the painting because she wouldn't have been looking as closely at the picture because she already knows what Phillip looks like.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So maybe she wasn't paying as much attention. But if Caleb didn't know him, he would have probably noticed the painting in the background.
Right.
And would have noticed it was her work and maybe started to put two and two together. And maybe that's why he started searching the house.
Dang.
To be fair, it's a pretty unique picture.
I mean, her style looks like painted photographs, which is interesting. I still want to know who's in that. That's what I kept thinking the whole time.
Who's that family?
It's like, who's that family? Whose family is that? Is that supposed to be?
The little boy did look like Wes.
Is it supposed to be a little Wes? And if it's supposed to be a little Wes, where'd she get that from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought the same thing, that it looked like a little Wes.
I was like, is that his parents? If that's his parents' house. Or maybe that was his adoptive parents.
I was going to say pictures from the adopted.
So maybe... But why
does
she?
Adoption agency?
Pictures from the adoption agency.
Why does she have a copy of that?
Because her boyfriend's a hacker.
Or her
brother.
brother.
But why would he be finding that?
I don't know.
Like, why would he be looking for that?
Maybe they were doing research on
Maybe that's her aesthetic. Maybe that's just her thing.
This is all very weird.
I know.
There's a
Anyway, we gotta
there's
wrap
a lot
up.
of clues that got planted this week that I really have no idea what they're attached to.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, I feel like they'll give us some, and then we're going to have to wait for the rest. Because next week, I believe, is the last episode.
It's the mid-season finale.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get something juicy.
We're going to get Who Shot Annalise, but I think that's the only thing we're going to get.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're going to get Who Shot Annalise, and it's not going to be... I don't know. I guess, all right. Is there anything else we want to talk to?
But we're not going to get why she was shot, maybe.
Or we're going to get that they did it on purpose, so it's not... You know what I mean? It's like when we found out the who killed Lila, whatever her name was. I feel like we found that out, but there was also like another wow that we found out.
Because you saw that it was Frank, but what else? But then we didn't... I think we found out that Rebecca knew more on that one. I can't remember what was the extra thing in there, because there was something besides... And that was, I think, the mid-season finale for that one, was that we found out
Frank killed her.
But there was something left open at the end that was like, oh my God, wait, but blank.
But but who killed Sam? I don't know. It's crazy. I need to rewatch the whole thing.
I'm just confused as to why Catherine is in the woods, why Sinclair's there, why Bonnie's there.
Well, you know what? We're gonna find out next week.
Well, and then why originally wasn't Sinclair on the?
Sorry.
What are we gonna do for the show next week?
I'm gonna have to wait until 10.
You come back. It's the season finale. There is enough room on the couch for both you to come back. I am inviting you both back and have a large panel for that finale. Yeah. If you want to come, there's enough room. But unfortunately, until then, we do have to. Before we wrap up, what else are you working on? Is there anything you'd like to tell people to watch, follow?
Follow me on everything. It's Dalilah Ali Rajah everywhere, on Facebook, on Twitter, on IG, on all that stuff, because I have things that are constantly going on. I'm a content creator and writer too. So I've got Coffee House Chronicles, which is a web series that I'm in. It's a comedy anthology, and it'll be coming out later on this month, the episode that I'm in of that. I'm in development on a TV show called Kung Fu Lesbian with the awesome Dan Curry, so we're working on that and doing some pitching and stuff, so fingers crossed, send some good juju and good energy. Look up the trailer, look up Kung Fu Lesbian book trailer. It's hysterical. Start getting some buzz going on online for it so that we can get some stuff behind the pitch, because I'm like Pam Grier and I'm kicking butt.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see it.
Awesome.
And all right, so since next week's the finale and you're invited back, if schedule permits, let us know, who do you think shot Annalise? We need a pick.
Oh boy. Lord. You know what would be interesting? I mean, I don't know if this is the case. I just think this would be the most outlandish of the people if it was Asher.
Okay. Asher.
I'm going to say Nate.
Okay, and tell the people where they can find you until next week.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sterling Cates.
I'm going to say that it's Bonnie. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jillian Leff, and on my Facebook page, Jillian Leff Official.
You guys can find me at I am Stef Z with an F, and I'm gonna go completely out of the box.
Oh, no way.
Wow, really?
I'm gonna say Oliver winds up being there and pulls the trigger. That's gonna
Wow.
be my prediction.
Okay.
And that's gonna be the excitement, and that's gonna be how he is in. Until next week, we love you guys. Keep your comments, questions, give us some likes, give us some stars, give us all that good jazz. We will see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.